Kaumodiki Mataji, Priti Mataji, Praneshwari Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Padmasaki Mataji to the Lilamrta reading. So we will start with our invocational prayers. Before starting the invocation prayers, I want to let you know where we are going to start this reading today. Now we are today in volume 6 and the chapter is 52 and the chapter name is I have done my part. So in that we are reading, the paragraph starts with Srila Prabhupada was unlimitedly willing to speak. So I guess like not 1/4 but a little of the paragraph is completed. So it is online showing that if we skip some I believe, let me see once again. Yeah, just if you scroll down Mataji a little bit, we can find out the paragraph starts with Srila Prabhupada was unlimitedly willing to speak. Srila Prabhupada was unlimitedly willing to speak.
How far into the chapter? Is it in the middle of the chapter, beginning of the chapter?
It's in the beginning of the chapter, Mataji. This is the paragraph.
I think this one also is there, na Mataji? Pretty Vilasini Mataji did. The screening also.
No, you got it, Mataji?
Yeah, I got it on the screen, so that's good.
Okay, Mataji. So I
cannot connect with the phone.
Okay, I will stay, Mataji, for a couple of minutes. Please, everybody, we will be ready with the paragraph so that we can enjoy Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrta reading. Akkada pettesiko nana. Plate lo pettesiko. You don't want? Sorry, akkada pettesiko. Go. Akkada kitchen lo unnayi ko hellu. Huh? Sorry, atla undu. Nenu vastunna. So, Mataji, shall we start? Okay, Mataji, then we will start with our invocation prayers. So, Mataji, anybody would like invocation prayers?
Mataji, can I do?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mataji, for giving me the opportunity. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalaşalakaya Cheskurum Nisanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatha Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishware Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Gwanja kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mataji, can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
I just wanted to, 1 minute, Mataji. I just wanted to tell everybody where we are. It's easier to find. If you go to, there's a quote from the Srimad Bhagavatam about Prahlad Maharaj. If you find that quote, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires. If you find that quote, we're 2 paragraphs from that. So that's like a easy way to find it.
Yes, Mataji.
That's all, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for helping out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada was unlimitedly willing to speak about Krishna and to help keep Krishna conscious to others. But how much longer he would stay, how much more he would keep, was up to Krishna. With more time, he would carry on Krishna's will in material world. But if Krishna desires for he should leave, then he would also accept the willingly. Even if he had to soon depart from this world, he could not simply shut off his burning compassion, his preaching spirit. Most of all, he desired that what he had started, a whole worldwide movement to save suffering souls, should continue. The word sent to all GBC secretaries worldwide, Srila Prabhupada might depart very soon, and he wanted them to be with him in Vrindavan as soon as possible. The GBC men left their duty and came to him. The last time most of them had been with him was in February during the annual meeting in Mayapur. Tamal Krishna informed them of Srila Prabhupada's recent turns, how he had been preaching in Bombay, but not eating, how he had gone to Rishikesha and gotten birth, and how he had come to Vrindavan, feeling that the end was soon. Tamal Krishna had explained that Srila Prabhupada had asked that he simply be administered the medicine of holy name continuously, that the GBC and sannyasis be gathered to chant with him, and that will be made securing ISKCON property and ensuring the continuation of ISKCON institutions. Tamal Krishna also mentioned that Prabhupada had said that their love for him would be shown by their cooperation in keeping ISKCON together after his departure. Can you please move, Mataji? Okay.
Maybe go on.
Tamal Krishna Goswami to his god brothers that his own willing were mixed. It was a time of sorrow, and Srila Prabhupada seemed revealed now that he had decided not to struggle to serve. Tamal Krishna said he could but feel happy at Srila Prabhupada's relief from all concern. Bhavananda Goswami, one of the first GBC men to arrive, told the others how he had said to Prabhupada that the one hand he left said that Prabhupada was departing, but also joyful that he would be able to leave his nasty world and rejoin Krishna. Prabhupada had approved the sentiment, adding that although his Guru Maharaj had become disgusted at the end of his life due to misbehavior of leading disciples, he did not feel that. Rather, he liked the company of his disciples and felt they were doing their best in carrying out his order. But he also warned them not to spoil ISKCON and become another Gaudiya Math by splitting up. Thank you, Mataji. I would like to stop here.
Thank you so much, Vinaya Mataji. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to continue from next paragraph?
I'll continue, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
The ISKCON leaders formed small groups and took turns in being with Prabhupada and chanting and reading to him. He would often be sitting up in bed in his main room downstairs, and the high-ceilinged rooms with its black stone floor would be very dimly lit, though decorated with flowers and framed pictures of ISKCON deities. His room was comfortable despite the oppressive heat because of the air cooler and overhead fans. Sometimes Prabhupada would clap his hands softly to the kirtana, and he was always ready to hear and evaluate reports of his disciples' preaching. The The main difference about Prabhupada was his physical appearance. As one GBC man put it, he looked like one of the great ascetics depicted in the Srimad Bhagavatam, grown extremely thin like Dhruva Maharaj or Ranti Deva, who would perform great austerities while wrapped in meditation on the absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada would alternatively sit up in bed or lie down while hearing Kirtana or Srimad Bhagavatam. Now he was always surrounded by concerned disciples, and he seemed happier. Some of the devotees who had been with him in Vrindavan just before all the GBC secretaries had arrived could see that he felt more encouraged. Perhaps by the sincere prayers of all the devotees, a dramatic change might come. Bhavananda Goswami and Jayapataka Swami brought reports from Srila Prabhupada's beloved Mayapur project. Bhavananda said the temple was filled with transcendental activity and the Gurukula boys would chant Hare Krishna even while sweeping the roads. Work was just beginning on a new residence for Srila Prabhupada. It would be surrounded by fountains, a terrace, and a big pond. It has not yet begun, Srila Prabhupada asked. Jayapataka Swami replied that the plans had been drawn and that the architect said it would be no problem. They could build right through the rainy season. How long will it take? Tamal Krishna asked on Srila Prabhupada's behalf. 6 months. Srila Prabhupada said, Tamala Krishna, I think you are tied to this planet by the love of your devotees. Srila Prabhupada uttered a thoughtful, all right. Although Srila Prabhupada had indicated a will to live by saying, all right to Bhavananda, he said, there is no hope of life. Therefore I have called the GBC. If I die in Vrindavana, Krishna can accomplish anything. But from the physical condition, there is no hope. But Krishna is Parameshwara, Bhavananda said. Prabhupada laughed. That is another thing. If Krishna liked, then he would live. But Prabhupada wanted his disciples to understand the critical state of his health. The brain is working, he said, but the body is not allowing. Don't worry. Everyone will die today or tomorrow. I am also an old man. There is nothing to be regretted. It is up to Krishna. Dropping his reassuring stance and pleading as a helpless student, Bhavananda asked, what can we do, Srila Prabhupada? You can pray to Krishna, Prabhupada replied. Krishna is all-powerful. And one of the most important things is, when I am gone, don't spoil it. Keep it. Mayapur. Jayapataka Swami gave glowing accounts of his recent preaching to both Hindus and Muslims in Dhaka. There have been no sadhus in Bangladesh for years, said Jayapataka, speaking strongly and victoriously, though sitting like a child at the foot of Srila Prabhupada's bed. People are eager to hear about Krishna consciousness. 10,000 people gathered. It was the biggest function in the history of the colony, either Hindu or Mohammedan. The Mohammedans are also interested. They don't know anything about Lord Chaitanya. Many ask if we have any books on the life of Lord Chaitanya. They like to read. That book, The Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada interjected in a voice hoarse but full of life and interest. Jayapataka said they had prospects of getting a temple there. Many young men are coming and asking very intelligent questions, he said. They ask questions about our deity worship, about Guru, about Harinama. Very intelligent questions. There is no CIA rumor. There is no type of any bad talk about us. No envy at all. And because they are a little oppressed, they are always being challenged about believing in Krishna. So that is why they are eager to understand. What about the Mohammedans? Asked Srila Prabhupada. At one place, said Jayapataka, when Prabhu Vishnu lectured in Dhaka, a Mohammedan heard and came to him and said, what are you preaching? What you are preaching is very applicable to the modern age. In my district, there is nearly a majority of Hindus. But when they have their sadhus come and preach there, I find it very old-fashioned and very unacceptable. But your preaching we find enthusing. So he arranged a program. Ultimately, every Mohammedan that I have met has become interested, just because it was presented in a way that was acceptable to them. They say, you are Hindu? We say, no, we are Vaishnava. Vaishnava means we believe in only one God. There is no one equal to him. So you believe in the same thing. That is a fact, said Srila Prabhupada. Asamordhava. There cannot be anyone equal to God or greater than him. Many young men, both Hindu and Mohammedan, will join, said Jayapataka Swami. I am sure. For right now we are getting society registered and getting our place. You do not get that yet, Prabhupada asked? Get the place and get the society registered. Prabhupada added that Jayapataka should be doing everything very seriously. It is increasing, he added approvingly. I'll stop there, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Praneshwari Mataji. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to go next?
Oh, wow.
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Oh, I had the birthday.
When Rameshwara Swami came into the room for his kirtan, he brought Prabhupada the newest editions of the Krishna book trilogies and reported on how the various books were selling. Keep your health very nice, Srila Prabhupada said. Live as many years as possible. Be Krishna conscious. Then, next life, you go back to the home permanent life. There is no cheating, no politics, no personal ambition to fulfill. There is not any tinge of any personal salvation. Now, can anyone point out that here is personal sense gratification? Can anyone? Can you say, here is my personal sense gratification? There is no such thing in Krishna consciousness. This is our desire that we live with devotees and execute the mission of our predecessors. This is our ambition. Without ambition, no one can live. Our real self-interest is to execute Krishna's desire. So do it very carefully. And if 1/4 of the Americans become Vaishnavas, then the whole world will change. In America now, Rameshwara said enthusiastically, the book selling has surpassed last year. We are trying to double. We have not yet doubled, but it has gone beyond last year. It is going to double, said Srila Prabhupada. By your mercy, Rameshwara added. Yes, said Srila Prabhupada, be doubly blessed. All these words, the devotees laughed. At these words, the devotees laughed happily. Srila Prabhupada then turned to Kirtanananda Swami. So, New Vrindavan is developing. Be happy. We can't be happy if you're not there, Kirtanananda said. I am always there, said Srila Prabhupada. When I see that everything is going nicely, then I am happy. Even with this body. Body is body. We'll have next body. Wasn't it Puru who gave his father his youth? Asked Kirtanananda. Srila Prabhupada nodded. Yes, Yayati traded his old age. And you can do that, said Kirtanananda. No, why? Said Srila Prabhupada. You are my body, then you can do it. There is no difference. Just like I am working, so my Guru Maharaj is there. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Physically he may not be, but in every action we do. In the Bhagavatam, said Kamal Krishna, you say that for whoever follows the Guru lives with him eternally. So, I am going to die, said Prabhupada. Kirtiravya Sajivati. One who does something substantial, he lives forever. He doesn't die. One has to accept another body according to his karma. But for a devotee, there is no such thing. He always accepts a body for serving Krishna. So there is no problem. Anyone wants to continue?
Mataji, can I read?
Thank you, Priti Mataji. Padmasati Mataji. Please, Mataji.
Wow.
Mataji, just a second. Rameshwara Swami informed Prabhupada that the last volume of the 9th canto was at the printer and the first volume of the 10th canto would follow in 2 weeks. Srila Prabhupada inquired about whether it was more economical to print the Hindi books in India or America, and they discussed. Internationally, all conditioned people are suffering, said Srila Prabhupada, but you devotees are above all dangers. Kirtanananda Maharaj knows that very well. He has no danger. Sticking to that New Vrindavan program, there is always improvement. They eat first-class nutritious food. And what is that place in Pennsylvania? It was like old times with Srila Prabhupada hearing reports and correcting and inspiring his leaders to do more and more, assuring them that Krishna would help them. Rameshwara Swami described for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure the great volume of Krishna conscious literature being distributed. At the end of this year, he said, we will have sold at least 65 million books on Krishna. Every year we are selling at least 15 to 20 million books now. Yes, said Prabhupada. They asked, Why are you stressing so much on Krishna? But that is the only message. It will increase more people. People will be inquisitive. Srila Prabhupada continued to talk, but with occasional reflections on his present condition. What is the problem? He asked. We are talking about Krishna. So if all of a sudden I collapse, then what is the problem? Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja. Ordinary dying is kapha, vata, pitta, choking. But if in the Kirtana you die, oh, it is so successful. Not the injection and operation, that atmosphere. But in Krishna Kirtana, that is glorious. Not oxygen, gas, dying and so much trouble. Chant Hare Krishna. But, and let me die. Then let me die, Krishna. Never be disturbed. Chant Hare Krishna. For chanting, you have got so much material. Now read something from this book. Srila Prabhupada reached over and opened Srimad Bhagavatam and handed it to Rameshwara, who began to read. One after other, the GBC men arrived. Atreya Rishi brought pomegranates and sweet lemons from Iran, as well as good news of the ISKCON restaurant there. Srila Prabhupada listened with intense interest to Atreya Rishi's report and then spoke for a while about the Middle East and how to be best present Krishna conscious there. Kirtanananda Swami had brought milk products from New Vrindavan, and a sannyasi came from Thailand with fruits and flowers. When Adikeshava Swami came in, Prabhupada beamed. He heard with great pleasure Adikeshava's report of the impact of the New York court decision on Indians around the world. When Swarup Damodar arrived, he showed Prabhupada the manuscripts for 3 pamphlets, proving scientifically and mathematically that Krishna consciousness is the absolute truth. After each report and greeting, Srila Prabhupada would ask that the Kirtana be continued, and he would become silent as the devotees sang softly hour after hour. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A very small pair of kartals, the only instrument, produced a soft, pleasant ringing. The voices of the chanters were subdued, but their minds were firmly fixed in the devotion to Srila Prabhupada and the holy name, concerned that Prabhupada could hear the Maha Mantra without interruption. Mataji, I'll stop here.
Thank you, Padmasaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, should I read?
Yes, Mataji, please, Anjana Gopika Mataji.
The devotees who were chanting experienced their own realization while immediately associating with Srila Prabhupada. In this way, they could understand this was the most important connection. With Srila Prabhupada to come into his presence and chant Hare Krishna and Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya and read to him from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada wanted to hear the transcendental sound, yet he was simultaneously teaching his disciple. After his departure, there would retain the deep impression of the significance of the Hare Krishna mantra and Srimad Bhagavatam, and they would go on giving the mercy to others. He was teaching them how to become pure devotee. He was sharing himself with them by having them chant very simply and read his book without speculation, so that later when preaching Krishna consciousness they would remember. Srila Prabhupada would always be with them as they went on chanting simply and preaching without speculation. Whether he would depart now or later, he was preparing them. Sometimes during the chanting, Srila Prabhupada would communicate unspoken feeling with his disciple. He might simply glance at one of the devotees, but that devotees would feel a stream of loving emotion and realization. Suddenly he would understand better how pure and compassionate Srila Prabhupada was, and the devotee might recall how Srila Prabhupada had come and saved him, bringing him to Krishna consciousness. Thus the GBC man, while chanting and becoming purified, were rededicating themselves, hoping that Krishna would accept them as surrendered souls. They asked that Krishna bless them and make them fit for whatever happened. Do not leave us, Prabhupada said at one point. Are you feeling... One second, Mataji. I'll stop now.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to go next?
And then we have to have this correct, so these two simple parts.
Okay, then I would like to go next, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes, I am feeling a little better. Go on administering this medicine. At Srila Prabhupada's request, the devotees staying with him between 1:30 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. read to him from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He would usually be on the roof then, sitting up in bed. A few bare bulbs would light the darkness, and all would be quiet and still except for the sound of the devotees reading. After one such reading, Srila Prabhupada asked Rupanuga about the preaching in Washington D.C. Rupanuga replied briefly, and then he and Balavanta began talking about reprogramming. Then Rupanuga said he had written a prayer to the higher authorities and asked if he could read it to Srila Prabhupada. O superior Vaishnavas, O compassionate Acharyas of the holy name, O supreme authorities, masters of our faith, have mercy upon us. We are not able to make any prayers, but this is an emergency. Shastra teaches that because of disciples' bad behavior or to allow some personal service or to exhibit ecstatic symptoms, the spiritual master may display bad health. Okay. Although he so kindly says it is simply due to the old age and personal neglect of his health, meaning that he has worked too hard to save us. But we may not speculate upon the mind of Acharyas. Please hear our petition. We pray for kindness of our grandfather, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is by nature merciful upon his spiritual grandchildren. We pray for the continued compassion of the 6 Goswamis, who are already famous in all the 3 worlds for saving conditioned souls. We pray for the benediction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most magnanimous Supreme Personality of Godhead. We pray to Radha Rani, Queen of Vrindavan, protector of our neophyte bhakti. And we pray to Lord Krishna himself, who we cannot even approach without the guidance of our Srila Prabhupada. Be the fallen servants of His divine grace, beseech all our masters, please give Srila Prabhupada more time to ensure the strength of this movement, time to finish the Srimad Bhagavatam, and a little more time for us to spend at the lotus feet of His divine grace, that we may become pure devotee by His mercy. We implore you, these 10 years have passed so quickly, and we are caught far too short for perfection. You know that actually only 10 milliseconds have passed in eternal time. Therefore, kindly extend this day, lest we fall from the spiritual path. O Vaishnava saints, O Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our eternal grandfather, O 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, O Radha Rani, mother of Bhakti, O Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the master of all, O Lord Krishna, the final repose of our love, O Vaishnava Acharyas, kindly have mercy on us. Please don't yet take Srila Prabhupada away. Kindly grant this emergency prayer. Either way, said Prabhupada, I have no objection to stay or leave. He said there was a Bengali saying that if a denki, a wheat threshing machine, goes to heaven, what will it do there? It will thresh wheat. Because the thresher is constituted in a particular way, it will thresh wherever it goes. Similarly, the pure devotee, whether he is in the material world or spiritual world, will serve Krishna. In this way, Srila Prabhupada was indicating that he had no personal anxiety. But he had also indicated that although everything was dependent on Krishna, the prayers of the devotee might influence Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's disciples, humbly considering themselves neophyte devotees, took it as a sign of Prabhupada's protective mercy that he said their prayers would keep him with them, and that he, although an eternal exalted associate of Krishna, liked to be with his tiny disciples. My Guru Maharaj was disgusted. He had said, "But I like your company." A sannyasi disciple read aloud a prayer he had written, petitioning the Supreme Lord for Prabhupada to live for 100 years. On hearing this, Srila Prabhupada opened his eyes wide and smiled. But again he pointed out that he was not afraid of death. Wherever he was, he said he was in Vaikuntha, especially being in Vrindavan and being surrendered by Kirtana of his disciples was Vaikuntha. Mataji, I would like to stop here. Anybody did not get a chance would like to read this Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrta? Okay, Mataji. So everybody got the turn. Then I would like to stop our reading for this day here, and I would request each and every Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Padma Sakhi Mataji, Kamodiki Mataji. If I miss anybody's name, please kindly excuse me. Can you please share your realizations? Vinaya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll go first. It's good to be back. It's good to be able to hear Srila Prabhupada's pastimes with you ladies. It's very, very sweet. Couple thoughts came to my mind was, even in death, Srila Prabhupada is continuously being an example, showing his disciples how to face as they call the final exam. And two lines that stuck in my mind. Of course, when they're talking about Jayapataka Swami, that really was a personal kind of touched me personally, I want to say, because he was explaining how Srila Prabhupada says that I want you to take care of the Mayapur. Don't let Mayapur go. Be careful. It says, he said, you can pray to Krishna. Prabhupada replied, Krishna is all-powerful, and one of the most important things is that when I am gone, don't spoil it. Keep it, Mayapur. So I was just thinking about that because, and how Srila Prabhupada had said that his most important thing was that he wanted his children, the way his disciples can show that they loved him was that they don't fight amongst themselves, that they keep it going, that ISKCON can only be broken from the inside, not from the outside, so that we have to be very, very careful and conscientious of keeping connected together and helping each other. And it really touched my heart because, even as parents, when we have children, that's one of the things that we think about, that when we're gone, we want our kids to be together and to helpful for each other and not fight amongst themselves. So Srila Prabhupada is showing that mood in a very Krishna-conscious way. And then and also is very sweet when they explain that although when his Guru Maharaj left, he was very disgusted because of the mood in which his disciples were fighting and stuff. But Srila Prabhupada was very happy being with his disciples and to seeing how they were working so nicely together. And the other point was seeing how Guru Maharaj's Guru Maharaj was explaining how he was traveling in Bangladesh and Dhaka, and all the preaching that was going on, and so many people are so interested and so favorable to Krishna consciousness, and how that really touched Srila Prabhupada. I mean, he was very happy. We can see that mood of how what's the, it's a perfect example of what's the best way to please our spiritual master. What's the best way is, even, in a material sense, please our parents, and that's by doing what they request. And Prabhupada's request was just, please tell everybody about Krishna. And then also when he was saying about working together, one more thought I had in my mind, and how Guru Maharaj was saying everybody's so favorable, and Prabhupada was very, very happy to see that. So those were a couple of thoughts that came to my mind. And like we said, we know how to please our Guru Maharaj by the example that's set by the devotees in the Lilamrta. And it was also very, very sweet when each of the devotees, from wherever they were, they brought something, from New Vrindavan, they brought the milk products, and from Iran they brought the lemon or the citrus fruits, and so such sweet reciprocations, and loving examples of the devotees, and it just really touched my heart. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Raneshri Mataji. Yes, Mataji, true. Whatever you told. Yes, we have to please our spiritual master, like we are trying to please our parents. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing these wonderful points. And again, we are happy to have you on this call, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Mataji, would anybody like to go next?
Yes. It's easy with a Shastra.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Praneshwari Lakshmi Mataji. That was so nicely said. Yeah, even I was also able to relate to what you were saying. It was very, very nice realization. And same thing, I just want to say, similar to what Praneshwari Mataji said, just a couple of things as we were reading came to my mind. Is one is Prabhupada, he insisted that, the way you show your love to me is by the way you cooperate with each other. So make sure that you really cooperate with each other and you don't break this. ISKCON should not break, So he was talking about don't make it like another Gaudiya Math where it's all broken up. So that is something that Prabhupada kind of very strongly emphasized. And his hope that we would cooperate and we would continue this movement was the only thing in his mind during the last few days. It's so important. Actually, I was just thinking about this fact that when a great Acharya leaves, generally there is a huge breakdown. Actually, this happens everywhere around the world, in all the sampradayas. Whenever a big Acharya, a world Acharya leaves, there is some disturbance actually after he leaves. So Srila Prabhupada was very aware of that, and then he cites example like how it happened previously. Please don't, ISKCON has to continue. ISKCON is like my body. So that is something very, very, very important for us to follow. And I think in all the endeavors that as ISKCON has taken up, even small projects, cooperation is so important. It's so important, and it's the greatest challenge as well in this age and time. It's very difficult to cooperate, with so many different minds, so many different ideas. It is actually a challenge. But then, if we cooperate, we can do something certainly very, very good to a very great extent. The other thing that Prabhupada was talking about was about, he said that this body, yes, it is getting over, finished, but you are my body. As my disciples, you will continue the movement. You have to take up the responsibility and you will be functioning as me, as my body. I thought that was very beautiful. And also he cites Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, saying that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's desire was that we continue as his body. His blessings are there. He is the grandfather. So obviously he is more merciful to you because he's your grandfather guru, and it should continue. So very, very nice, Mataji. And of course, there is so much more to add to the entire reading. It was very, very beautiful. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say these things. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Preeti Mataji. Yes, as you said, yes, these are very wonderful, and the last point you added is also very nice, Mataji. Thank you, Praneshwari Mataji and Preeti Mataji, giving the elaborate explanation of Jayapata Swami's role and how Srila Prabhupada is preaching, or how he is giving instructions at last moment when he is also not there, how to take care of our Gaudiya Math Sampradaya and how to protect the ISKCON movement and how to move forward also. Thank you so much, Mataji, adding those all points.
Mataji, can I go next?
Yes, Padmasaki Mataji.
Okay. Mataji, there's nothing much to add because the other two Matajis, what they said is the main summary, I feel. But the point I wanted to tell was recently, with by some causeless mercy, I got a chance to talk to Giriraj Maharaj and Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj. So in that context, I always think, when I see them, the kind of dedication they have, and they would have hardly seen Srila Prabhupada, and at least those days there was no technology. Now if we don't have personal interaction with gurus, at least we see them on YouTube, we have all their lectures, so that's where we are very connected. So I was just asking them, with you're all getting very old, all Srila Prabhupada's disciples are getting old, Maharaj, so we just want you. Sometimes I get so scared thinking what will happen to this mission if you all leave. So very lovingly they just smiled, and then they were telling, we have you all, somebody you all should take it on your shoulders. So after I heard that from them, I always, when I sit and think on that point, I'll think, do we have the strength to just do all our Guru Maharajas, the way they, lot of peace, the cooperation they have, the love they have towards each other, they're just following what Srila Prabhupada had said. So I wish definitely the mission, even after our Guru Maharajas leave this world, I pray and I wish that we follow their footsteps and continue to be very determined and dedicated to the mission like them. And when the disciples were praying for Srila Prabhupada, they're praying to all the gurus, and at the end they were asking, we need Srila Prabhupada. So sometimes when I get very panic, even I sit and I'm like, no, nothing should happen to all these gurus. They should at least live for 100 years. Like that, I'll be just sometimes thinking. So that made me get reminded of that small prayer what I do. And one more point I like this. Prabhupada was telling, if you don't have ambition, we should have an ambition to live for. So recently I was also listening to one of the lecture where they said the hope and ambition, that is the driving force. If you don't have anything, any goal, any ambition, then there's no point of living, I feel. So these are the points I wanted to share, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sorry if I spoke anything wrong.
No, Mataji, absolutely right, Mataji. So sweet of Mataji, and very, very nice to hear all this from you, Mataji. You got an opportunity to speak with Giriraj Maharaj and Bhakti Charu Maharaj, right, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
So sweet, Mataji, and whatever you told is absolutely right, Mataji. And yes, we should, everybody have some kind of aim or goal or some kind of ambition to lead our life in a more Krishna conscious way, Mataji. That is true. I too agree with you, Mataji. That is correct. And whatever you speak, Mataji, about the Bhakti Charu Maharaj and Giriraj Maharaj, so wonderful, Mataji. And when you got this opportunity, Mataji, to speak with them?
Bhakticharu Maharaj, I spoke to him recently, this month only, Mataji, in D-Land, and Giriraj Maharaj, with his causeless mercy, I would definitely say, he is very kind. He always, since a year, whenever he just talks to me.
Ah, very wonderful, Mataji. Yeah, we went last December to D-Land, Florida, but we could not meet Bhakti Charu Maharaj. We did not go to D-Land. We went in Florida and we saw the temple in there only. Yeah, there was.
Come and visit D-Land. If you come, tell me. I'll also come. Stay with us.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. By Krishna's mercy and devotees' mercy, definitely. If again it is possible, definitely I'm thinking of going to D-Land, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing these wonderful points. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to share their realizations? Vinaya Mataji, Kamodiki Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I just want to say one thing. It's very, very nice to hear from all of you. I was very much happy to hear how the devotees were writing to the Lord, appeal of how to protect Srila Prabhupada. And one more thing, but wherever Srila Prabhupada is there, it is a spiritual world. Sure, Srila Prabhupada will be there engaging with the spiritual world with Krishna. And then they were sometimes in some lines they were telling, oh, it's better to go from out of this world and Srila Prabhupada enjoy with Krishna. And sometimes they are saying, no, please don't take it. Like they are like, very, very nice to hear all that. It's true actually, wherever Srila Prabhupada is there, it's Vaikuntha. Even though this world is so hard to live, but because of Srila Prabhupada, we got this happiness to live very happily, connect to Krishna and make our world very happy. So I just want to say that word, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Vinaya Mataji. Yes, Mataji, true, very nice. The last prayers of the devotees, and wherever he is like feeling it as Vaikuntha, Vaishnavas Association. Yes, Mataji, true. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing these points. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anjana Gopika Mataji, would you like to go next, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. It's very nice discussion. Actually, I really like the cooperation. Things, even all the Guru Maharajas, they wanted to make sure our ISKCON movement go till 10,000 years. And then, 1 second, Mataji. And then I really like the prayers at the end. I think devotee I could not hear properly, but the prayers who done, Mataji, who has written. So Swarup Maharaj wrote that, or
no, Mataji, Rupaniga prayers.
Oh yeah, I was missing from where that prayers, but actually I was reminding how in Vyasa Puja this year Guru Maharaj was telling how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada always used to say, means grandfather is always very kind to the grandchildren. You go and pray to my Guru Maharaj, he will help you. Like that, Guru Maharaj was telling, you are all grandchildren of Srila Prabhupada, he will be very kind. A father means he will chastise their son, but grandparents, they are very kind to us. When we just need to go and pray to Srila Prabhupada, he will be really kind to us, and then we should be more. Now, Priti Vilasini Mataji made the point how we need to appreciate each and everybody and to go this movement forward and then do services. I really like that point also. And I don't know, when Mataji was reading, Priti Vilasini Mataji was reading, there was some point. Maybe you will share, Mataji. I know you will share very nicely all the things. I forgot the point I wanted to share but forgot. Thank you, Mataji. It's very nice.
Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Yes, Mataji, whatever you told is definitely correct, and thank you, Mataji. Thank you for coming on the call and giving your association and sharing this nectarian realizations, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Supriya Mataji, I just got reminded of one point. Can I tell?
Yes, Mataji, please.
No, in 2010, when I went for Radhanath Swami Maharaj's Vyasa Puja, that time, like, I was just then in Krishna consciousness. I just got married and my husband took me there. And in one offering, I still remember, like in one of the offering, they were reading saying like Prabhupada was telling ISKCON is like my body, and if you all fight, the parts come apart and I bleed.
Wow, wow! What a deep realizations, Mataji. What a deep
I got reminded of that point. I wanted to share here.
Wonderful, Mataji. Super. Yeah, how Prabhupada is attached to the ISKCON movement and how he want to make the devotees as one. And if we have this kind of discriminalities and you know, what we can say, shortcomings between us, so he is very much suffering. What a wonderful thought. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for adding this point to this session. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I was also wanted to add a point.
Please, Mataji.
One thing I was just reminded of when Mataji was talking about Giriraj Maharaj and Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. A couple of, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, a friend of mine, Dhanavari Mataji and myself had gone to Santa Barbara to actually go see Giriraj Maharaj. So Mataji had not gotten initiated yet, and she had some questions. And she was getting initiated by Vaiseshika. She was sheltered under Vaiseshika Prabhu, but she still had some questions. So she had asked me, let's go to Santa Barbara, let's go see what's out there. And I said, well, we're there. Let's go see Giriraj Maharaj because he's right there. So we just showed up there one day at the place where he stays, and the Mataji's there very nicely, allowed us to come and be there. And so I had told Kunti Devi Mataji, who's there taking care of things, and I told her, we wanted to talk with Giriraj Maharaj if there was a possibility. And it was very sweet because I wasn't expecting that he would actually, talk to us by ourselves, meaning I thought there would be a lot of people around, but he came and he spoke with Dhanavari Mataji and myself, and we were, she had so many questions. And so I told her, you have to ask questions, I said. This is the time. I said, when it comes, Indian women are very many times very timid about being, forthright or forceful or, inquisitive and stuff. And I said, in everything else you can be shy. I said, but in spiritual life you cannot be shy. This is your chance. If you have any questions, you need to ask him. So she asked all these questions, and he so sweetly answered all her questions and just put her mind at such ease that I was so deeply moved, is the way I can only explain it. I was so moved that he, just went out of his way to make her so comfortable, to let her feel like she can ask anything she wanted, and to put her mind at rest. And so she eventually did get initiated by Vaiseshika Prabhu. But that interview with Giriraj Maharaj was I think it was a tipping point that really helped her feel comfortable with her decision to get initiated. So just as something I wanted to share, because they're just so loving, and that mood of how they are, we need to be that way.
Yes, Mataji. And I just want to add realizations to your Mataji. This Monday of our Guru Maharaja's Vyasa Puja, Giriraj Maharaj was present in Houston in our Vyasa Puja also, and we did not speak, but the presence of his itself get a kind of more blissful vibrations around me. While he was walking, while he was moving around, while we are cooking in the Gauranga hall kitchen, and once or twice he moved from there to other place, and he was very blissful, and we can feel the vibrations while he was walking there. Yeah, I could not talk because I was in the kitchen, but I saw him and I was very happy to see him. Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji, Padmasaki Mataji and Praneshwari Mataji, adding more nectar to our reading. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to share their realizations? Okay, Mataji. So I would like to share my realizations. Just a moment, Mataji. So today's Lilamrta reading started with the paragraph of Srila Prabhupada was unlimitedly willing to speak. So I want to give a brief recap of previously what we have read in our previous chapter, because it was like 1 week we did not read this. So I want to give a brief recap. So previously Srila Prabhupada was in Bombay, and from there he moved to Rishikesh, and from there, because of the weather conditions of his health was somewhat deteriorated, and again from there he moved to Vrindavan. So from there Vrindavan we have seen so many of people are coming, and we have seen the conversations between politicians and reporters and everybody, and from there, and last week also there is a famous politician of Sitaram Singh, and there was also a kind of a reporter having a good conversation, again the same routine questions of materialistic and how to inculcate our Krishna consciousness in the material world. So the same questions we have seen, and now we are going to see our again this week's continuation from there onwards. And from this Srila Prabhupada was unlimitedly willing to speak and help give Krishna consciousness to others in spite of his health also. And from there we can see how the GBC secretaries worldwide has made, like we have seen little bit in the previous sessions also, Tamal Krishna Goswami had taken the in charge of Srila Prabhupada's administration work, day-to-day work, and he's also taking care of Srila Prabhupada, how he is giving medicines from time to time. And also we have seen how much he was attached to the Srila Prabhupada, and he want to Srila Prabhupada is very much willing to give the administrator and management duties to Tamal Krishna Goswami. So we can see from there how Tamal Krishna Goswami again narrated how Srila Prabhupada came to Vrindavan from Bombay to Rishikesh, from Rishikesh to Vrindavan, and now he is in Vrindavan now Srila Prabhupada is in a special room. In this room he is surrounded by small group of what we can say, the leaders of the ISKCON have came to Srila Prabhupada to serve him in this time, and they have split into small groups, and what is the main duty is to chant continuously 24 hours around him and read Bhagavatam. So this is the main plan to come here and to serve Srila Prabhupada. And here we can see how Srila Prabhupada are doing his duties, and how we can see how they have given a little bit of what we can say description of where Srila Prabhupada's room is, how Srila Prabhupada's room was. It is like simple with like a regular what we can say, in India we get coolers at that time, and overhead fans, then and a simple living also. And in this also how the people are like devotees are chanting Hare Krishna mantra 24 hours and reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see. And in this we can see Bhavananda Goswami and Jayapatak Swami brought some kind of reporters from Mayapur. They are discussing on how the Mayapur temple is going on, and we have seen previously also how the construction work is going on, and they are having a little bit update on the Mayapur temple, and Tamal Krishna Goswami is taking in charge of this on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, and he is having how much time it will take time to complete this and all these things. And from there we can see the discussion of Jayapatak Swamis and between the Prabhupada, and as we can see Priti Mataji and Praneshwari Mataji has given an elaborate discussion on this, and their realizations are very nice. And we can see Jayapatak Swami Maharaj had told that he was preaching to both Hindus and Muslims in Dhaka, It is in Bangladesh, and as we all know that Bangladesh is mostly dominated by Muslim community, Mohammedans, and we can see rarely Hindus. In spite of vast cultural and what we can say religion difference also, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj had taken what we can say it's really guts to go into Bangladesh and preach to Mohammedans. It was like there are in the camp there are like 10,000, whether they are Hindus or Mohammedans, and it is like a very what we can say daredevil step in my thought, to go to that place and teach Krishna consciousness to Mohammedans. And we can see how the Mohammedans accepted. They are telling that it is a more practical. It's not like a it's not going to be work in this world. It is more practical, and they have welcomed that speech also, and they were very much delighted to have the Jagatath Swami Maharaj in that place also. And again we can see how Srila Prabhupada is telling to save that place and register the society there and keep moving forward. And he had a very good discussion, and we can see how they are making the Mohammedans into Vaishnavas. And Vaishnavas, here he has a good description. Vaishnava means we believe only in God. There is no one equal to him. So he is telling a good description of all these things to young men who are there in Bangladesh. And from there we can see there is a discussion between Rameshwar Swami and Srila Prabhupada. So he is telling like how there is a good kind of discussion. I just want to read this. Live as many years as possible, be Krishna conscious. The next life you may go back to home, permanent life. There is no cheating, no politics, no personal ambition to fulfill. There is not any tinge of any personal salvation. See, from this also we can understand, if we live as many years possible also, but we should be in Krishna consciousness only. There is a saying in Telugu that a crow lives by 100 years and a swan lives for 60 years. So we can see the difference. How much importance we give to swan rather than a crow. So in this also he is telling Srila Prabhupada, if we live as long as how many years, that is not matter. How much we are in Krishna consciousness, that matters the most. It is very beautiful. And here we can see discussion between Kirtanananda, Rameshwara and Srila Prabhupada. And at one point Srila Prabhupada was a little bit, Kirtanananda was little bit upset with Srila Prabhupada's health condition, and he is quoting an example of Yayati and Puru. So we all know the pastimes of Yayati, who had got the old age, and he want to trade this with his son Puru, and he is willing to take the old age of his father. So in the same way he is trading with Srila Prabhupada. Can we take this and can we exchange, and we want to make you live for more than 100 years. So that is very beautiful thought, I feel. It is wonderful thought, and we can see how the devotee, how the followers of Srila Prabhupada at that time, they got the pure Krishna consciousness. In spite of I'm being here from this last few years, but we did not get, in spite of we born in India in the Hindu religion, we did not get this kind of thought. But they are not born, but within few years, within 10 years, they got this deep realization, and they want to have this what we can say exchange, if possible. How they are dedicated to ISKCON and how they are very much sincere to Srila Prabhupada, we can understand from this. Within few years they got this kind of good intimate connection with Srila Prabhupada. I feel very much happy about this. And again, moving from there to next, we can see just a moment, Mataji. Then we can see how Rameshwara Swami is giving the update of 9th canto and first volume of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, how it was done. And we can see Srila Prabhupada was very much happy. Rameshwar Swami is giving the details of how the books are selling, and from that discussion we can see that 65 millions of Krishna books are sold. And he's telling there was much more gradual rise in the selling of books in America when compared to last year. And Srila Prabhupada is telling in future also it will be double, no doubt. So we can see how the movement is growing in front of Srila Prabhupada's eyes. And we can see now here we can come across person like Atreya Rishi. So Atreya Rishi is one of the person of GBC member, and arrived from Iran. He brought some pomegranates and sweet lemons. And there also there is a kind of some person from Middle East and from Thailand also who came to see him, see Srila Prabhupada. They brought some kind. Hare Krishna, can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, now we can hear you.
Okay, okay. So previously I'm telling about Atreya Rishi. Atreya Rishi brought he is one of the GBC men, and he brought some kind of pomegranates and sweet lemons from Iran. And we can see some people came from Middle East, and we can see that Kirtananda Swami brought some kind of milk products from New Vrindavan, and a sannyasi from Thailand came with a lot of fruits and flowers. So many people are coming, and we can see Adi Keshava also coming to visit Srila Prabhupada, and he had given the report how we can see a court decision, how they deprogrammed and how they won it, and these kind of all things are giving they are giving report to Srila Prabhupada. And from there we can see the last thing I would like to add is the Rupanuga prayers. The Rupanuga prayers are very wonderful. So how sincerely he is praying to Vaishnavas, Acharyas, then Lord Chaitanya, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he is praying to Radharani. He is praying to everybody so that Srila Prabhupada can live his life more than 100 years and support them, guide them, and give them a way so that they can be more into Krishna consciousness and spread this awareness throughout the world. These prayers are very sweet. How he is praying to all these 6 Goswamis, then Radharani, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then Vaishnavas. So very deep realizations, Mataji. And at this point, Srila Prabhupada is telling, I have no objection to stay here or go back to Godhead. And here he is telling a Bengali wheat threshing machine like Denki. So he is telling that he is telling the example. This Deniki means a wheat threshing machine. So what is the purpose of this machine? Means it threshes the wheat. So wherever it goes, at any place, from here to other place, other state, or from this planet to other planet. So he's telling when it goes to heaven also, what is the purpose of this machine? Is to threshing the wheat. So like this also, when Vaishnava lives on this planet or when he go back to Goloka Vrindavan, what is his main purpose? Is to be in Krishna consciousness only. So he is giving a very good example. Srila Prabhupada is telling whether I am here or there, my main purpose is to be in Krishna consciousness, to serve the lotus feet of Krishna. So he is telling I will be happy here or there. And my Guru Maharaj, he is telling also that a Vaishnava, wherever he lives, it becomes purified, sanctified, it becomes Vaikunta. So these are very instructive, Mataji, and in between I got some kind of realizations where he is telling to Tamal Krishna Goswami. So a guru follows always his disciple. So if he is not in this planet or he is in Vaikunta, so there is no kind of insecurity for disciples. And from the middle also I got some point, because of we have seen this point in many of our previous reading sessions, that because of our what we can say disciples not following the principles and not doing the chanting properly, or whatever reasons, because of this our gurus will suffer. But because of compassionation of the guru, he will outwardly say, because of my old age or because of my health conditions I am not feeling good, but this is the main reason he is telling. So we have seen this many times in our previous sessions of reading also, Mataji. Yeah, in between also there are so many points, Mataji, to cover, but I feel this is very, very deep, Mataji's today's session. Yeah, thank you so much. Anybody would like to add any more realizations, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Supriya Mataji. How sincerely you are explaining Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Priti Vilasini, Gopi Anjana, Gopika Dasi, Aji, Komatika Mataji, and other Vaishnavis. Thank you very much for all of your assistance. Supriya Mataji, you are so inspiring us that how we have to serve Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, this mission, and so dedicated Vaishnavi you are. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah, you constantly give me encouragement, Mataji. Thank you so much. Always encouraging me. So sweet of you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. If there are no more realizations, I would like to end this call today. And I once again thank all the Matajis who joined this session. Kamodiki Mataji, Priti Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Padma Saki Mataji, and Praneshwari Mataji, who have joined this session and giving your wonderful association, Matajis. Thank you very much. And I would like to have your beautiful association next week also, Mataji. With this, I would like to pay my obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindho bhyaye vacha patanam pavan namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Assembled devotees ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Supriya Mataji ki jai.
Ki jai. Padma Saki Mataji and Praneshwari Mataji ki jai. Thank you.
Jai.